Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to my first episode, I guess, or first video of Designer Head. And I guess to kick off this, we're already in February. I wanted to post in January. Had some delays for many different reasons. However, we're here. I'm starting. I have made a commitment for this year to do these videos, and I might screw everything up and it's gonna be terrible, or it might not. I don't know, really depends on not only me, but also you, my viewers, and how how generous you are with receiving videos from somebody who's never done this before. Anyway, let's start. This video specifically is about job applications, and the reason why I decided to do this video is because last year I was hiring, and I was hiring in my last company in my previous company as well, and so it kind of accumulation of years of looking at applicants and how they submit their applications and the kind of mistakes they make. And so I'm here to essentially try and share with everyone, try and avoid these mistakes, because honestly, some small mistakes can literally cost you a position. Not because you're bad at what you do or not because you're not talented, but honestly because it can be a silly mistake or a silly mishap, and on the other side, on the receiving side, as a hiring manager or an HR, they might just view it as either disregard to important information, or carelessness, or in all honesty, just timing. But let's dive. But before I do, I have to do this YouTube thing, as everyone does, is please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for always being notified when I'm posting new videos, which I will try to do every week or every 2 weeks, but we'll get into this cadence as I go along because, as I said, it's new to me. So let's kick it off. So let's start with portfolios. One of the biggest problems that I've noticed as I was hiring, last year and in my previous company as well, is when people submitting their applications for any kind of position, right, mid-levels, junior, and whatnot, oftentimes have this weird assumption, or at least I think have an assumption, that my portfolio is in my resume or my portfolio is somewhere in my cover letter, so it's fine, they will find it. The one thing that a lot of you might not be aware is that people who hire people typically are very busy, and hiring people is not our necessarily job, right? If you're applying for a big corporation, they have a full HR staff department that's their pure job. That's what they do every day. They review resumes, they go through applications, post jobs, manage those jobs, applications, and so forth. And when you're applying to mid-sized and small companies, startups and whatnot, typically there is no HR department. So there is no somebody who does the recruiting. It's actually the people that recruit for their own departments, either design managers, engineering managers, sales managers, and the list goes on, right? So when you're thinking about it, right, on the receiving end, there is somebody that has a full-time job of doing a lot of things. As for instance, my last company, Current, as head of design, my responsibilities are not only about managing my team and making sure that they're doing okay, everything is fine running between them, their communication levels, their projects, what they're doing, reviewing what they're doing, talking to them, meeting with them, and then the list again goes on. I'm also involved a lot with the stakeholders and the founders of the company, which means I am also involved in the strategy and the roadmap of the product. I'm involved in the strategy for the features, what we're trying to do, achieve as a company, not necessarily just as a product or a design team. And so there's a lot of things that I do on a daily basis And then when I need to hire somebody from my team, that is an addition to everything else that I do, which means essentially I have very little time for it. And typically it happens either at the end of the day or at the end of the week or even on the weekends. So what I'm trying to say by that is when you're applying for a job and sending in your application through AngelList or LinkedIn or Greenhouse or I don't know, Indeed or whatever the platform is, try to make sure that your portfolio is probably one of the first things that I see as a hiring manager. Because as much as some of your intro letters are nice and interesting, some people read it, some people don't. I'm on the side that don't. I don't really read those. I'm looking for the link. Like for me personally, and as I said, this is my channel, and so I'm going to be sharing my personal experience and my opinions. For me, this is essentially the first thing that I need is that link, right? Because I will find maybe 10, 15 minutes in my day that I will open up the platform, whatever that platform is, AngelList, LinkedIn, Indeed, and or anything else, and I'll just run through the list of all the applicants from the top to bottom, or vice versa, from the oldest to the newest, right? Because people applied and waiting for the reply. And all I'll do essentially is I'll find a link, right click, new tab, find a link, right click, new tab, find a link, right click, new tab, and so on and so forth until I'm going to fill up, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 tabs of portfolios of designers that I'm reviewing. Then I'm going to literally click one by one and go just tab by tab and spend probably about a second, if not less sometimes, per portfolio to just quickly see if this portfolio grabs my attention in any kind of way, visual, linguistic, layout, whatever that might be, right? Project, anything. Catch my eye. If I saw something interesting, I'm going to take that link and then put it aside. If it didn't, close tab, move on, close tab, move on. Find something interesting, put it aside. The things that I put aside at the end of the day is then I will spend some time either the next day or towards the weekend, maybe an hour, going through maybe 25, 30 portfolios, if not more, to kind of dive a little bit deeper. Now, when I do that in that process, I will immediately go, or the first thing I do is I go to the about, or at least I'm looking for the about. You'll be surprised how many people don't have that. They just have this little blurb on their opening or landing page. I am a XYZ designer inspired by XYZ, solving problems for users through design thinking or some other methodology. Cool. Is it useful? Not really. Just a blurb. Everyone have it. It seems like everyone has this similar or the same one with just a different title, or the title is positioned in different places on that blurb. Not really useful. What I'm looking for is I want to read who you are. I want to read about your journey. I want to read about how did you become a designer? Why did you become a designer? And why do you think you're a good designer, or you're going to be a good designer? What makes you tick, right? What makes you inspired? What makes you want to continuously progress your craft? So that's what I'm looking for. Oftentimes I don't see it. If I don't see it, portfolio goes away. I'm not continuing. If I do see it, I read it. If I read it and I enjoy what I'm reading and I'm seeing an actual human being behind this portfolio, then I'm gonna go and actually look at your case studies. Then I'm gonna be looking for a lot of different things. I'm gonna cover it in my videos about portfolios, but that's how the process is. If I saw something interesting in your about, if I saw something interesting in your case studies, then we're moving on to the next step. The next step is, okay, I liked everything about you. Let's schedule. I want to invite you for a interview or a screening call, whatever that might be, but I need to schedule it, right? My schedule is very busy. I don't know about your schedule. Maybe your schedule is very busy. So typically I will wait until almost the end of the week, because typically that's when I have time. And I'll sit down from my computer around Thursday night or Friday early morning or even the weekend, and I'll send out an email or several emails to some candidates that I would like to speak to. And I will ask for your about 2 weeks out of availability. Once again, to my surprise, there is a shit ton of people that all they do is essentially just send me back saying, hey, I'm available next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at so-and-so times. That's it. Well, kudos to you that you're available next week, and I understand you really want the job. I get that. But you also have to understand that I might not have the availability for next week as much. That's why I'm looking for the following as well. So please, be kind and share 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks. Go above and beyond. It just shows me that you're being considerate about not only your time, but also my time. It's just a thought process of how do you communicate with other human being, right, in this situation. I get it, you want the job, but at the same time, I might not have the time to meet with you or call you. So let's say we covered that part, right? People did send me the 2 week out availability, saying this is when I'm available, here's the times, the dates, even went above and beyond and said, here's another extra week, and if you need more time, let me know. I'll provide you even farther out time. Awesome. To my surprise, once again, and maybe to yours as my viewer, we live in a globalized society today. We live in work from home environment, and at least in the most of the tech industry. And we're all around the world, or just, within the nation. I'm in the United States, and so there's Eastern time, Western time, Central, and so forth, right? So there's different time zones. I was absolutely shocked, at least in my last experience hiring people, which was last year, of how many people do not send me their time zone. And you cannot understand how important that is. I'm in the Eastern time zone. I'm in New York. And I'm recruiting people everywhere in the United States, or was recruiting last year. Anywhere in the United States, California, Minnesota, Texas, New York, Florida. Didn't matter to me as long as I'm finding the right candidate and the right talent. Now, when you're not including that one little piece, it literally sounds and maybe seems like such a small thing. If you're not including it, here's what happens. As I previously mentioned, my time is limited. And so when I look at portfolios and go through applicants, send out emails for your availability and so forth, these emails typically happen at the end of the week. So let's say I saw your portfolio, I liked everything. I'm gonna send you an email on Thursday night or maybe Friday morning or Friday afternoon. Obviously, assuming I'm gonna get the time availability that I asked for of a few weeks from you on over the weekend, right? Or even Monday. So you respected the weekend, decided not to send me an email on the weekend, send me an email on Monday. Or even send me an email right away. I sent you a request and I got a response from you within an hour on, let's say, Friday afternoon of this is my availability for the next 2 weeks. Awesome. If I've got your time zone, that means that on Monday morning, before I start my day, I can figure out when I can schedule that time with you, this week or the following. If I did not get your time availability with your time zones by Monday morning or Monday afternoon, that means I am not responding to your email probably until Thursday night or Friday morning, which means we just lost a week of potentially being able to meet you, see you, talk to you, potentially like you, and see that you're a good fit, and then move you on to the next step in the process. So we just lost a week. Cool. So I sent you that email on Thursday night or Friday morning saying, hey, thanks for providing your availability. Please let me know your time zone. Awesome. You're very quick to respond. You send me an email back 2 hours later or an hour later saying, hey, I am in PST. I'm in somewhere in California or West Coast. Cool. I got your email. I'm not going to look at your email probably until the following week, which means Monday or Tuesday, if anything. I will look at your email. I saw your availability paired now with your time zone. Now I'm going to try and schedule you for that specific week, but odds are I won't be able to because somebody before you already sent me their availability with their time zones, and I already scheduled all of my available slots for that same week with people before you that included all that information. So now that means I am booking a time with you for the following week. So essentially, you as an applicant applying to a position at my company already lost 2 whole weeks on the one simple, mishap, did not pay attention. I really don't know what's the reason behind it, but that's the problem. And so in this entire scenario, essentially, we just went through weeks of back and forth communication while you could have been gone through our process already and gotten a job. But you didn't because we didn't meet you. We don't know how great you are. We don't know how talented you are and how interesting you are and how incredible you are as a human being and how well you fit into our team. Why? Because we couldn't figure out a time to see each other, meet, have a call, and so forth. So, in conclusion, when you're applying for a job, please try to consider several things, as I just went through. One is your time availabilities. 2 is making sure that your portfolio is probably by far the most important thing on your hierarchy when you submit your application, so people can see it ASAP without looking for it and digging for it, because we as hiring managers typically don't have the time. And the third one is make sure when you're providing time availability, you're providing enough buffer of several extra days or weeks to the hiring manager so they can easily schedule you in, and including your time zone. Incredibly important. So, 3 things. Make sure your portfolio is visible. Make sure you provide your time availability 2, even 3 weeks out, and always make sure to include your time zone. And on that note, I hope this was helpful. I appreciate your time listening to me and watching this video. If you disagree with my opinion, if you disagree with what I just said, please feel free. Don't feel free. Please leave me a feedback and review underneath the video. Comment, ask me questions. Once again, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know when I'm posting new videos. And until next time, always stay creative, keep designing, and never stop learning. Have a good one, everyone.